Berserker #1 from Boom Studios. You know,
My third pick of the week.
yep. You know, the CEO over at Boom, he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
He is landing #1s left and right, and this one is no exception. This one is fucking killer. Literally.
I just want to point out Matt Kint, who's the co-writer of this book with Keanu Reeves, who probably did the majority of the writing. He must be having a badass week this week because he also is the writer of ENIAC. So he must be having a really good week this week.
Dude's on fire. So I don't want to spoil this book. We're gonna do a 5 to maybe 8 minute review. But let's just say that if you're into heads exploding, arms being ripped off,
What about heads exploding because they're getting hands punched straight through them and eyeballs popping out?
Exactly. If that's literally that should be like Berserker, heads blowing up because fists going through them. Like that should be the descriptor for this book. But I will say, like there are things in this book.
Ooh.
Yeah, no shit. There are things in this book that are just insane, and I picked up my books on Wednesday. I read all of them until this one, and it was super late, and I was like, I'm going to bed. And Nate's like, hey, have you read Berserker yet? And I was like, no, I was going to wait until the morning. He's like, yeah, get your ass back up in your media room and read it. And I was like, okay. Yeah. And you're like, be prepared. And literally like 2 pages in, it's just like, bleh, just...
I mean,
I don't know, man.
I don't want to keep saying all the violent things, but I do want to share one more, just because I think this is one that will really convince you if this is your kind of book. A man gets killed because he is impaled through the throat by a rib ripped out of another man, and then that rib is shoved through his throat. Then I actually believe that the same man that gets the rib through the throat has his arm ripped off.
Yep. I was gonna say
as a bludgeon. So
yeah. I'd say about 2/3 of this book is just straight up violence, and then we get backstory. And it's I also think that this book is very well paced, and during the violent bits, it's just violence. Like it's not. There's not a lot of deposition. It's just fucking action. And, if the best way another way to describe this book is John Wick if he was a god. That's what this is. And I've never seen a John Wick movie, but I've seen the fight scenes.
Yeah.
I've seen the fight scenes, and that's exactly what this book is. Like, it's fucking intense, and it's really good, though. Like, I enjoyed it thoroughly. And just like Nathan said, he has there are 4 books this week that I want to make my pick of the week. And, this is one of them. And go to your LCS, pick up this book. I'm sure they have it. They also had
2 copies of it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Boom did a 1 in 1,000 variants. I think there are only 56 of them. And so, that one's out there too, if you want to spend a shit ton of money on #1. The interesting thing about this is Keanu did an interview already. I don't know who with, but he basically said like he would love to see this project actually turn into a movie, and I could totally see it. Like I could see Netflix picking this up, and we say this every time Boom comes out with a #1. Pick up Boom #1s, even if you're not going to read them. Pick them up, put them in a Mylar, and put them away.
See, I would actually disagree on this one.
Why?
Because there's going to be so many of them printed. There's going to be so many of them already graded. I bet you within 2 months from now, there will be like 300 to 400 9.8s already out there.
Okay, well then get a variant.
Covers. There's so many different variants.
Get a ratio variant.
Pick this book up to read it. No, pick this book up to read it. This is not a spec book. I'm telling you, it's not a spec book. You're not going to make any money off of this thing. Don't.
Never know.
Well, I mean, if you want to pick up one $4 book or $5 in this case, and you think that's a spec, that's fine. But I'm telling you, you're not going to make big money off of this book. I'm calling it now.
Okay, you may not make big money, but at least you can say you've got a spec book that might turn into a movie.
Or just read your comics, goddammit.
Well, that too. I'm not saying
No,
I'm not a
you're
giant
just a speculator. That's all you are.
right. Yeah,
You
that's
sell your books. You buy books to sell. You don't ever keep them.
Excuse me?
Excuse me? I'm saying it because it's not true.
It's not. I've never sold one book. Now that might change. Like, just shout out. I just finished my Savage She-Hulk run. Who knows? I might sell that. You never know. But either way, pick up this. It's a good read. It's a really good story. It's a really good story.
James says that he is now panning the camera to the left and seeing your stack of 300 Berserker #1.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, yeah. That's why he's hyping it up, man.
I'm hyping it up because it's just a kick-ass book, but
it is a absolutely wonderful book.
Either way, go pick it up. It's a good fun read. Obviously, don't if you have kids, don't let them read this because this will literally fuck them up.
Nah, I totally show this to my daughter.
No, you would not.
Yeah, I would.
Holy shit! That's.
Did you get cover A on this?
Yes, I did.
I at first was like, I don't know which one I want. I was like, I'll just grab A, but then, oh god, it just went blank.
Wow, dude.
But instead, I got cover B. I got the
cover B.
Mark Brooks variant, and I really like this one.
That's a good cover too. Yeah.
On me.
Well, either way, go pick up Berserker with no vowels, and it's a good time. It's a really good time. I could not endorse it any more than I already have.